Hey. What are you doing with an N95? But I got this.
Hey, man.
6 feet.
Hey.
6 feet.
Hey, beggars can't be choosers. That's all I got. You're lucky you got that one.
Listen here. So I get the corona and you get to survive?
Yeah, man, you're good.
Oh, God! No!
Alright, guys, welcome back to FALhunter. So, as you can see, the mask fell off. Chris took his off. He figured if I was going down, he was going to go down with the ship also. So.
That's right. Listen, we've been on this ride. If you go down, I go down.
Yeah, so the masks are off. So, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're talking about this whole situation that we're in and some things that are going around in the state of California here that are a little unsettling, to say the least.
Yeah, so we're not allowed to talk about it or say certain words, so we won't say what you guys are waiting for us to say, and that's why we're going to keep referring it to, I don't know what we're going to refer it to, but you'll get the point. Anyways,
Modelo.
So this Modelo is stirring quite the frenzy out there. We've been stuck in quarantine for a while, and
I mean, luckily we're both still working,
yeah,
which is nice because I don't know what I'd do if I was cooped up at home right now.
That's right.
So I mean, that's good. You know, both you and your wife are working and everything, and you know, hats go off to you guys for.
Well, she's a nurse and I'm a fireman. She works in the ER. I've pretty much accepted that I'm gonna get this thing if I haven't already gotten it. I'm thinking currently that California's already been hit by this thing and we just weren't testing back then. But if I haven't already had it, I'm assuming I'm going to get it. So since we have two small kids at home, I wanted to lower our risk as much as possible, even knowing I'm probably going to get it. We're all probably going to get it, but doesn't mean I should just say the heck with it and go on being. So I told my wife she needs to cut back her hours as much as possible. So,
you know, that might be a smart thing to do. Just, you know, at least until everything gets further.
Yeah, until we figure this thing out. If it ends up blowing over, she'll go right back, and if it doesn't, then we lived off a credit card for a little bit. So
yeah,
it's better to be safe than sorry. So anyways, we've heard some crazy news that's coming up, and on top of it, there's things that have already taken place.
Yeah,
there's actually a meeting going on. What is today? Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow morning at 8:30. So probably already after this video is out to you guys. But tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning, California Fish and Game are going to have a meeting, and they are going to meet on suspending all hunting and fishing, basically the licensing, altogether. So therefore, there is no fishing and no hunting at all. So not even if you have a private area over here, it's private property to go hunting or whatever, where you still need your hunting license. And that will be suspended, or at least what the meeting's about. So that's where they've been going. We've witnessed public lands being shut down, fishing reservoirs have been shut down.
And let's kind of hit that home here. Public lands being shut down. Mm-hmm. Let's just kind of process that here real quick. What in the state's right mind why are they doing this? I don't understand this. You know, they talk about social distancing, not gathering in crowds. Okay, I understand that. I get that. But I've been turkey hunting by myself for the last 2 weeks, and that's about as much social distancing as you can get.
Yeah.
I'm around nobody. You know, I'm 45 minutes outside of cell service. So what is their reasoning behind this? I can't wrap my head around the fact that they are closing lakes. You know, are they gonna refund everybody's fishing license? You know, I mean,
they're definitely not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, trout season is about to come into swing, and I can't wrap my head around this. You know, while there's a mad rush to the grocery store, and people are buying, you know, everything from toilet paper to meats and everything like that, you know, prepping for a long-term shelter in place, they are putting restrictions on those of us who have the acquired skill to go out there and hunt and fish. That's wrong on so many levels.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. Yeah, they've been closing down. I think. I'm guessing here, but it's pretty close to every lake is pretty much closed down now. There's a few of them. They're hitting the Delta up right now. I know there's parts in Sacramento which are closed. I know almost all the ramps by my house are closed down for the Delta. And I know hunting areas have been getting closed.
Yeah.
For instance, what was the story you were telling me earlier about?
Yeah, so I have a friend of mine who just recently shot his second turkey on public land, and he was telling me how when he went in, everything was clear, everything was fine, and when he came out, there were signs posting saying that the area was going to be closed. And again, this is on public land.
Yeah. Yeah, you would assume fishing and hunting is about as social distance as you can get.
Yeah,
but
well, not only social distancing, but being able to provide, not only for yourself, but for your family.
Yeah.
You know, and granted, you know, only turkey's in season right now, but if I want to go out there and shoot a family and have X amount of meat, extra meat on hand, I should be able to go out there and do that. I shouldn't have to rely on a grocery store to provide food.
Yeah. Well, currently the way the system has set it up for us, rely on a grocery store and the government's bailout money they're sending you.
Yeah.
So you're fully reliant on the government now.
Yeah. It's very unsettling. You know, a big thing that I was a little irritated about when all this came about is that the local gun shops were considered non-essential.
Yeah. They keep going back and forth if they're essential. If they're not, they keep fighting stuff in courts. And I don't know what I lost track. What's the newest thing? I thought I actually heard that they were deemed non-essential again.
Yeah, so the newest thing was a federal judge down south stepped in and said that gun shops were considered non-essential and were to be closed if they aren't already.
Which is crazy. Not that I really don't have an opinion if they should be open or closed or essential or not essential, but what I do have an opinion on is some of the people I've heard that said that they were deemed essential. And you're like, that's an essential job? Why? I mean, and then you see the gun shops being forced to close. You're like, wait a minute, where do they draw the line at? Because I've heard of multiple essential jobs that don't sound very essential to me that are continued, that they're able to still go to work, but yet a gun shop can't? I don't know.
You know, and yes, there's been a very high number of people purchasing guns, whether it's, you know, people who've owned guns in the past or people who feel the need to protect themselves and their families and want to purchase a gun for the first time. And that's fine, regardless of where people stand as far as firearms and everything. That's, you know, that's your Second Amendment right. You know, you have the right to bear arms and protect yourself and your family. But shutting these places down, you know, it doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
It's scary. And luckily you and I have both been fairly prepared for a situation like this. But even me, you know, I have some, but I don't feel like I'm at a comfortable level.
Yeah, and I think one of the other biggest scary things about it too is that fishing's in the Constitution, that we are allowed to continue, that we should be allowed, that we should be allowed to fish, but yet they are, even if they come up with a good reason why we should stop, for them to be able to legally force us to stop against the Constitution is where I start cringing a little bit.
You know, the governor having enough power to step in and say, nope, this is closed.
Yeah.
That's
without, I mean, basically being able to have enough power to step around that Constitution so easily and just literally
the California Constitution. Yeah. You know, it gives you the right to fish, but you know, it doesn't give you the right to hunt, but it gives you the right to fish. And for the governing powers of the state of California to step in and say, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, there's issues there. There's issues there for sure, because some of these things, like the Constitution, are there to protect us. and that even though fishing, my life isn't at stake for fishing, but for them to be able to so easily step around that, I mean, starts making you think, well, can they step around everything else very easily? So, yeah, that's definitely unsettling, and it doesn't really make too much sense when you consider I mean, fishing for the most part, you're doing it on your own, or you're on a boat separated from someone, you're hunting turkey by yourself in a bush.
And whether it's hunting or fishing or anything like that, I mean, that's an acquired skill that we've, done for years past, and, we're fairly good at it.
Yeah.
And we've always said, if worse comes to worse, we can go out there and we can hunt or we can fish for our own food, and our families are going to be completely fine.
Yep.
We're going to have a meal to eat every day because we've grown up doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, especially with how crazy these grocery stores are.
Yeah.
I mean, originally it seems like it's slowing down, but things happen to blow up around here like next week, like they're supposedly supposed to, it's always been 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks later it'll be 2 weeks. But the grocery stores were, I mean, you literally couldn't get meat. You'd go in there and there is no ground meat, there's no ground beef, turkey, there's no whole turkeys, there's no chicken. Literally, we're talking no meat in every grocery store within 20 miles of me. I mean, I some days I went to 4 or 5 grocery stores just to get, I mean, I wasn't trying to prep or anything. I just needed to get some food for the house to last for a week or two.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was no meat, but yet also at the same time, they're going to take hunting away from me. So even though the grocery stores seem to be a little better right now, you're going to take hunting away from me. And then if it happens to get bad again, I can't get meat at the store as well. I mean, that's crazy. I can't fish. I mean, literally, you're taking things away that allow me to get meat. And also the grocery stores aren't selling meat. So something weird's going on.
And we're not even talking about doing this for the overall sport. I mean, would it be awesome to get out there and do some bass fishing right now? Yes. But, I would prefer to eat a catfish over a bass or something like that. It's like
I'd prefer to eat anything if I can't buy any meat at the store.
Exactly.
My family's going to starve.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it came to that, a bass would be getting cooked up for sure because, that's a guaranteed meal.
Well, it won't now because they're not going to allow us to fish or hunt. But, yeah, so
that's just some things to be aware of. If you guys don't live in California, please drop us down a comment below and let us know if your state is restricting certain activities, whether it's hunting or fishing or anything like that. And, I mean, we're curious on this. This hasn't been made very public in the news media.
Yeah.
But us as a hunting and fishing community, it's been talked about. So that's how I know about it. And if your state's trying to do similar things like that, just like I said, just drop us down a comment, let us know what's going on. And yeah,
stay safe out there, guys. If you can, hit like, subscribe to this channel, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.